Hello, beautiful stars. Thanks so much for tuning in. I am Astar, and welcome to 𝑓_Star. So, in this video, I'm gonna be visualizing the process of Kundalini activation. It's very important to actually be able to visualize the process, because if we are able to understand something visually, then for many people it's much easier to understand or to relate to. And that's why Spirit inspired me today to start this experiment. So I allow Spirit to flow through me, and I set the intention to visualize the process of Kundalini activation. So without further ado, let's get in. The first thing we want to understand is, what is Kundalini actually? So Kundalini, that's the serpent energy. It is our life force energy. So everything in creation is created with life force energy. And the word Kundalini actually means the coiled serpent energy. And in the Vedic tradition, it is said that there are 3.5 coils. And that means these 3 coils, they are actually a reference to the 3 realms of creation. So we have to think that there are 2 main realms. And this is the visible realm and the invisible realm. The invisible realm, that's the realm of the underworld. And it is very easy to understand that there are 2 realms, because we have to think, what can we do as human beings? We can open our eyes or we can close our eyes. So when our eyes are open, we are in the physical realm. We are in the material realm, in everything that is materialized and crystallized and created. And this is the realm of duality, where there is positive and negative, where there is darkness and light, where there is perception and non-perception, existence and non-existence. Whereas if we close our eyes, then we are seeing the universe with a single-eyed vision. And the Kundalini energy, that actually comes from the invisible realm. And this is the serpent realm. And that's why many people connect the underworld with the serpents. But this doesn't mean that serpents, they are demonic beings, because they come from the underworld. Like, very often we connect serpent beings with demons and shadow entities, but that's not the case. So the serpents, they are actually spiritual energy that appears in wave form, and that's why it's the serpent energy. And this comes from the invisible realm of creation. And we have to think, when we as humans meditate, then we actually have the shape of a pyramid. Now this is very stylized. So basically when we meditate, we also have the shape of the pyramid. And the word pyramid actually means fire in the middle, or light in the middle. Because when we meditate in this pyramid shape, then we are allowing the divine light from Source Creator to flow into our vessel. And obviously in the realm of matter, in the realm of physical materialized creation, we exist with our human body. Now when we meditate and when we have our first Kundalini activation, then it is actually the Kundalini that is being triggered from the realm of the underworld. This is also the realm of the subconscious and the unconscious, basically everything that has to do with the inner world. This is the outer world, this is the inner world. This is the realm of effect, this is the realm of cause. So the cause of our awakening comes from the other side of the veil, in the invisible spirit realm. And when from the realm of the unconscious, this serpent energy is triggered, we have our first awakening. And the way this Kundalini is being triggered is through our root center. So the root center is the center that allows the Kundalini to flow into our spine. Or it is the center, it is actually the doorway between the invisible realm and the physical realm. Because this is where this creative life force energy flows into the physical realm. And this is why the root is the chakra that grounds us into the earth. This is the center that keeps us grounded in our physical reality. Because again, through the root, this serpent energy is being expressed in the physical realm. And now, when the Kundalini is activated, when there is this first stirring of awakening, then it is starting its ascent along the spine. And many of you, I'm sure, have seen the Caducus, and this is actually a representation of our spine. And in the Caducus, there are two serpents. One serpent is the Ida Nadi, and the other serpent is Pingala Nadi. And these are actually the two currents. So the solar current and the lunar current. Solar current is Pingala Nadi. The lunar current is Ida Nadi. Pingala Nadi is the black serpent. And Ida Nadi is the white serpent. And many people think that the black and the white serpent, they are the divine feminine and the divine masculine energy, which is not entirely correct, because if we have to think about the two currents, these are actually the currents of the serpent energy that are either going down into creation or up back to source. So the black serpent is the active force, and that's why it's the solar current. And this is actually the energy of the inhale. So when we are inhaling the life force energy, this is the active force that draws the energy from the sun into our vessel. But the reason why the masculine serpent is black is because everything that goes into creation has to die. And this is why it's black, because the direction where creative energy of the physical realm goes is towards death. And in the ancient Egyptian tradition, this is actually Nephthys and Isis. Because Nephthys, that's the goddess of death. And Nephthys is actually the physical realm. And if we look at the imagery of Egyptian artifacts, the black serpent has the crown of Lower Egypt, and the white serpent has the crown of Upper Egypt. And again, Upper Egypt is the invisible realm with the white crown, and Lower Egypt is the material realm, the physical realm, the visible realm with the red crown. So everything that comes into creation has to die, has to be renewed in a way. And that's why Nephthys is again the goddess of death, because again the active force has to go towards death. Whereas the other serpent, the Ida Nadi, which is the lunar current, that's Isis. Isis is the force that goes back to source. And this is the process of dissolution. Now we have a confirmation from Spirit. The wax is doing funny things. So Isis is the force, the passive force actually, that allows us to go back to source. So the active force is creation, is the inhale. The passive force is the exhale, because we are surrendering back into nothingness. And this is the process of dissolution. So Isis is actually the wisdom that allows us to go back to the invisible realm where we come from. It is basically dissolving creation so that we can merge back into nothingness, into the void basically. And we want to have a balance between the two forces. So we want to have a balance with focusing on creation, but also focusing on dissolution, focusing on the invisible, focusing on the other side of the veil. Whereas if we only focus on the physical realm, if we only focus on creating, then there is a focus on the material realm. And then, if there is a desire to experience the material realm, we will always come back in the material realm. So once we die, once we transcend this physical incarnation, if there is still an attachment to experience the physical world, then we will be coming back and experience the physical world in the cycle of reincarnation. But if we want to transcend the cycle of reincarnation, then we are wanting to focus on activating the serpent energy that goes upwards. That is the energy of pursuing spiritual enlightenment. And when the upward rising serpent energy is being activated, when there is a balance between the two currents, then this is what allows the Kundalini to then flow into the central channel, which is the Sushumna Nadi, and it can merge with the Supreme Consciousness. And when this happens, when the Kundalini is when the two currents are harmonized and the Kundalini energy is coming from the underworld and is going up towards the Supreme Soul, towards Source Creator or God, whatever you want to call it, when it is coming up into our spine and activated, this is what gives us wings. And that's why very often we see the depiction of the solar disk with wings. In many cultures there is this symbol of the sun disk, and these are actually the two currents, the two serpents, the Ida Nadi and the Pingala Nadi, the force that goes into creation and the force that goes up back to source. And this is what creates the eternal cycle. And the reason why Kundalini has 3 coils is because 3.5 coils actually, is because there are actually 3 realms of creation. Because again, we have to think about the 2 realms being the realm that we experience with open eyes and the realm that we experience when our eyes are closed. But if we practice meditation, or if we practice astral traveling, or any spiritual practice actually, they allow us to visualize what exists in the spiritual realm. And when the spiritual realm is being visualized, when we have visions of the higher realms, or also when we are in dreams, for example, then this is the 3rd realm of creation, which is the astral realm. So the material realm of earth and the underworld, these are the 3 realms of creation. And this is actually the cosmic egg. So again, there is the invisible spirit world. There is the physical world where we are the bridge between invisible and visible. And then when we are able to have transcendental experiences, when we have visions of the invisible, then this is the 3rd realm, which is the astral realm. This is very much when we remember dreams, for example, or when we have clairvoyant visions, for example. This is making the unconscious conscious, or making the subconscious aware, like bringing the subconscious to the conscious. And this is actually the process of Kundalini activation, because again, we are taking the spiritual energy from the underworld and we are bringing it into our conscious awareness. And the realm of the earth, that's actually the conscious. So this is conscious, this is unconscious, and the subconscious is actually, it is subconscious, but this is also the realm of heaven, in the sense of when we dive into the invisible realm and we make it conscious, then we get this spiritual enlightenment. And that's why when we experience bliss, or when we say we experience heaven, it is because we are remembering our spiritual essence. We are diving into the depth of the unconscious and we are bringing it to light, and this is why we then have an enlightenment. And that's why we talk about enlightenment as being the angelic energies. And this is the realm of the birds, actually. So when we say that we are an angel with wings, this is when we have learned to fly in the sky of the astral realm. This is when we have made the unconscious conscious. So again, this is the realm of the ocean. In many traditions we are talking about the ocean, the earth, and the sky. The ocean of the unconscious, the earth, that's the state when we are conscious, awake and aware, And the sky is when we are navigating the ethers basically, and when we are able to then fly, and this is when we are getting our wings. And again, when the Kundalini energy is being activated and it is merging back with the Supreme Soul, this is then what gives us wings. Because we understand that we are Source Creator. We understand that we are the Supreme Consciousness. And that's why we can travel along the entire tree of creation. And actually, we have to think of ourselves as being a tree. So we are the tree trunk. And our roots, they go down into the underworld. They go down to the realm of cause. So everything that we see in the physical realm is actually coming from the underworld. Because the underworld, that's basically the realm where all the information is stored. And this information is actually the DNA. And that's why we talk about the underworld as being the serpent energy. Because this coiled serpent energy is what is carrying the information. This is the cause that allows a flower to bloom. So the seed, the DNA, the information that comes from the invisible realm, and when it is being expressed as a flower or as a tree, then this is actually creation. So this is the underworld, this is the earth, and this is the sky. And again, once we have had a Kundalini activation, once we have had this enlightening moment, this is what allows the branches to grow. And the branches of the cosmic tree, these are actually our wings. They allow us to fly to the heavens, to the higher spheres, to the stars. They allow us to connect with our spirit guides. They allow us to communicate with our star ancestors, basically. But also, once the Kundalini is being activated, this not only brings up, let's say, remembrances from past lifetimes, but this also brings up collective fears or collective pains. And this is the reason why the process of Kundalini activation is such an intense process, and it can really disrupt our life. Because yes, it brings up bliss and insights and happiness and joy and connection to Source, but before we can feel this connection, before we can understand that we are Source Creator, we first need to let go of every thought pattern that is not in alignment with that truth. So before we experience the bliss, we have to go through the pain. We have to release the karma. We have to face our shadow. Because no tree can grow into heaven if the roots don't reach down to hell. But in the way hell, that's facing the shadow. But it's not facing the shadow as only shadow energies or shadow entities, but it's actually facing the shadow in the sense of facing the invisible realm, facing the unconscious and seeing what is there basically. The invisible is not evil. The shadow realm is not evil. It is just invisible. And yes, before we can awaken to the light and to the bliss, we have to face also the not so comfortable experiences, the not so comfortable energies. But then again, when we are comfortable enough to face our shadow, it means that we are ready to awaken our Kundalini energy, and then it can rise along the spine. And this is very much why we talk about the tree of life with the spheres, and we are basically we are a reflection of that. So the tree of life, that's actually it's a construct that helps us understand our connection to the universe. It helps us understand how the light, the divine light, comes down into creation, but it also helps us understand how we are then able to go back to Source again, how we are able to transcend back with the Supreme Consciousness. So it helps us understand how the universe is being created, but also it helps us to understand how we can ascend and basically go back to Source, where we then transcend the cycle of creation. And now I'm actually being called to use a new page. So let's see what else comes up. So again, coming back to the reason why there are 3.5 coils is because we are wanting to go through all the 3 realms of creation. We are basically wanting to awaken the Kundalini energy from the underworld, from the serpent realm, making it aware, making it conscious in the physical realm, and then allowing it to go further where it then can merge with the supreme consciousness, with the this is Atman, this is Brahma, this is the universal soul. And once the Kundalini has risen through all the 3 realms, the 3.5 coil, the half coil, is what allows us to then transcend the 3 realms and basically go into the transcendental realm. This is everything that exists beyond creation. Because we have to think that Source Creator is the creator of the physical realm, is the creator of the universe, is the creator of creation basically. But there is another realm which exists beyond creation. There is another realm that exists beyond the duality, beyond the polarity of going down into creation and up back to source. And this transcendental realm, that's even beyond the great void. So the great void, that's actually the threshold between creation and non-creation. So from the great void, the first stirring of vibration is being triggered, and that first stirring of vibration from nothingness to something that is shape, something that is vibration, that's the first step when it comes to creation. And this is actually the serpent moving upon the face of the waters. So the serpent moving upon the face of the waters, again, the waters being the waters of the ocean. When this happens, this is the first sound, the first vibration, the first stirring that allows creation to take place. But again, in the physical realm, everything exists as waveform, because everything exists as potential. It exists as, it is invisible, but it still has information. It still has, it's still something stored. So that's why the DNA is like a seed, is like a code that then later allows things to be expressed in the visual, physical, awake, aware realm. And the awake, aware realm, that's the realm of humanity. That's the Middle Earth. That's, when we are consciously aware of who we are. And this is the realm of the stars, basically. This is why I am Astar. This is why Astar is not only my spiritual name, but this is also why I am a star, why you are a star, why we all are stars. Because we are basically the masters of the 4 elements. So in the physical realm, there are the 4 elements, and we are the 5th element, which is in the middle. And this is actually the pyramid from above. So again, when we meditate, there are the 4 elements which are our basis. This is the foundation of the physical realm, but the pyramid is the light in the middle. And the light in the middle, that's spirit. That's basically what, the supreme consciousness, that which allows us to work with the 4 elements and to master the 4 elements. And that's why here it's the realm of the stars, basically. And if we have to look at the sky, the heaven, this is the realm of the birds. This is the realm of the angels. This is where the angels reside, and where we then talk about the winged beings. But the reason why they have wings is because, again, they are able to travel through the energetic corridors that connect the stars. And that's why when we channel, for example, when we connect with our star ancestors, they are basically channeling the information through the branches into our vessel. But again, our Kundalini has to be activated in order for us to connect to the branches. Otherwise, the information cannot come through. Because before our Kundalini is activated, we are like a tree trunk that is almost floating in space. We have our roots which connect us to the earth, but if the Kundalini is not yet awakened along the tree, along our spine, this is then the 33 vertebrae of the spine, if it doesn't reach up to our pineal gland, to the pituitary gland, to the higher centers, then our wings are not there yet. But as soon as we have this enlightening moment, this is what allows us to grow our wings, and this is what again allows us to travel to the higher realms, to the higher dimensions, where we can then connect to the starry branches. And this is actually the spirit of a dragon. So when I talk about serpents, birds, and dragons, please don't take it literally. Like seriously, there are some people who take it literally. That's not the case. When we talk about serpents, dragons, and birds, we're talking about energy. We are talking about expressions of creative energy. But then again, the creative energy, when it appears in wave form, then it is a serpent. The creative energy, when it appears in the physical realm, then it is a star. Because it is again the four elements and the fifth element, which is spirit in the center. But when it is in the higher realms, then we exist beyond our physical form. There we exist as our angelic being, and this is our bird being, when we are spiritual beings, when we can fly throughout the entire realm of the sky, of the heavens. And this is why, when we reach enlightenment, we understand that we are a dragon. Because what a dragon is the mixture of the serpent energy of the earth, the serpent energy that comes from the underworld, and the mixture of a bird, which is the higher perspective, and also a human. So basically an enlightened human being, an enlightened star. If we add up the serpent, the bird, and the star, serpent, bird, and human, then this creates a dragon. Because again, a dragon is serpent energy, appears in wave form, but a dragon also has wings. A dragon also has the capacity to travel to the higher realms. So as an awakened being, again, we exist in the physical realm. We can navigate the underworld, but we can also navigate the astral realm. And if we have mastered the three realms of creation, then we are a dragon basically. And this is why in the Mesoamerican tradition we talk about the feathered serpent, which is Quetzalcoatl. And coatl, that means coiled. So it's coiled serpent energy. And Quetzal, it's actually a bird, so it's a feather. So feather and serpent, serpent and bird, it's the earth energy and the heavenly energy, the underworld and the world above, but also the conscious realm. And again, so when we have this spiritual enlightenment, when we have mastered the three realms of creation, then we are a dragon. And again, the spirit of Source Creator is a dragon, but it's not an actual dragon, but we are talking about energetics here. And this is also the reason why the dragon has been demonized so much in all the ancient stories, because we're talking about slaying the dragon or the dragon being something evil. Many people connect the dragons with draconians, and basically if we demonize the dragon and if we say that it's something evil, then it means that we are never able to connect with our inherent power. And this is also the reason why the dragon is the guardian of treasures. But the treasure is our enlightened consciousness. The treasure, the ball that the dragon is holding, that's actually the solar disk. That's actually the supreme soul. Because the treasure that the dragon is guarding is again the realization that we are Source Creator, is the key to our enlightenment. But again, if we demonize the dragon, if we are not connected to the serpent energy, or if we fear the unconscious, if we fear the serpent, then we are never able to reach spiritual enlightenment. And we are wanting to merge the two forces of the earth and the sky. And this is what allows us to have wings and travel throughout the three realms of creation, where we are then truly masters. And this is where we are magicians. And that's why in ancient times we are talking about the dragon teachers. They were not amphibian beings. They were basically teachers from the stars. They are our star ancestors that incarnated in the earth, that came from the realm of heaven and chose to have an incarnation as a star being, as a human being in the physical realm, in order to teach the dragon mysteries. And these are the dragon teachers that are moving throughout the whole earth plane to teach the mysteries of the universe. And by the way, this is also Thoth. Wait. When I channel, it's so hard to write in human language. So, there we go. Because Thoth, that's also a dragon teacher. Thoth is also, yes, that's why we talk about Thoth being the spiritual master that came in Egypt to teach about the 7 hermetic principles, to teach about the 7 chakras, to teach about how to activate the energy from the underworld and allow the energy to then flow along the spine. And the spine, this is actually the jet. This is the axis mundi. This is the tree trunk. This is the connection between heaven and earth. And when we learn about the mysteries of the 7 chakras, when we learn about how to open and activate the 7 centers, and also when we learn about the 7 hermetic principles, this is again what allows us to reach spiritual enlightenment and to become dragons, to become masters. So if you would like to learn more about the mysteries of the universe and the mysteries of how to activate our Kundalini energy, then I'm inviting you to come to our Magic Wisdom School. So we are basically meeting up every Wednesday and every Sunday, and we're basically being initiated into the mystical teachings that allow us to activate our Kundalini energy, first of all, in order to heal ourselves, in order to reach enlightenment, but also to activate our fullest creative potential. Because again, when we are learning to master the 3 realms of creation, it means that we're able to master the Holy Trinity, and it means that we're able to also master the 3 alchemical principles. And everything in creation is 3, like it's really about mastering our creative energy. And then on Sunday, we are actually practicing Kundalini yoga, which is then actually helping to prepare our physical vessel in order to hold this energy. Because as soon as the Kundalini is being activated, this is a very, very powerful process. And we are wanting to be initiated into these teachings in order to be able to navigate this in a smooth way. So if you are interested to activate your magic, I'm very much looking forward to see you on Wednesday and on Sunday. You find the registration link in my description box. And thank you so much also for tuning in. And please let me know if there is any question, like if anything is not clear, or if anything comes up for you, or if you feel like sharing anything about your process. It's very, very welcome. And again, thanks so much for watching. I'm sending you all of my love, and I hope to see you in the next video. Bye bye.